Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono. At this time, I would ask you to please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Chilly night to close out the 2019 season here at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono as you see horses warming up for what will be our final program of the season. Looking at a chilly night, clear skies, that's good news. Winds are calm. We should have a fast track. Haven't had any precipitation of any sort today, and we are looking at 14 races on tap. Again, a chilly night here for the closer, and let's take a look now at the changes on the program. We start with race number 2. Second race, number 7, Terror at the Beach. Scratched lame. Scratched the 7, Terror at the Beach, out lame from race number 2. Moving on to later in the program, race number 3, scratch the 6, Can't You Spell Out Judges. Scratch 6, Can't You Spell Out Judges from race number 3. Pair of scratches in race number 9. Next changes on the program, race 9, scratch both the 2, Nile Hanover, and the 3, Heartbeat Hill. Nile Hanover is out Judges, and Heartbeat Hill is out Sick. Race number 12, scratch the 4C Semelu out 6, scratch 4C Semelu out 6 from race 12. And then in race 14, number 1 Drawing Dragons needs a driver to be announced on the 1 in race number 14. And also in race number 14, scratch the 8 PL Leroy out 6. Those are the changes we have so far tonight. Any further we get, of course, we'll be passing those along to you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono. Welcome to First Call. This is where we get you set for the night's racing action. My name is Jim Baviglia. I'll be your track announcer and your host for the Saturday night proceedings, and once again, our closing night of the 2019 season here at Pocono. Our first post time tonight, 7 Eastern Time, 26 minutes away, 14 races to close out the season. Fan Appreciation Night. Hope you all could join us here. I get take advantage of that to give away the commemorative sweatshirt. Remember, between 9 and 10 in the grandstand area, they'll be giving out those sweatshirts, and you need your the coupon, from the the program. So again, the giveaway. And hard to believe we are at this point in the season. Always seems like it flies by, but the cold weather kind of demonstrating that it is time to sign off for the 2019 season. But without going into details, we can say we'll be here a little bit sooner next year as we return for Pocono Racing. We'll tell you more about that if you pay attention to the internet and press releases and things like that. We'll start talking about the 2020 schedule. 2020, hard to believe. It's been a wonderful season here at Pocono. Throughout these past few weeks, we've been honoring folks who have done outstanding all year long, drivers, trainers. We honor George Napolitano Jr. tonight, of course, our driver of the year, both in wins and UDRS. George has won that award so many times. We'll be honoring Rich and Miserable tonight, the trotter of the year. So a lot going on here this evening throughout the night. And we have an outstanding program to close things out as well. Race number 10, now winners $18,000. Last four is the feature on the pace purse of $17,500. Also want to let everybody know that the Rainbow Pick 5, normally there is a carryover for the Rainbow Pick 5, but because there's no tomorrow, in so many words, as far as race nights, this is the last night of the season, so there will be no carryover. There will be a mandatory payout for the Rainbow Pick 5. So whatever was in the jackpot and whatever goes in the pool tonight, that gets added up. Every winning ticket divvies up that Rainbow Pick 5 here this evening. So again, mandatory payout for the Rainbow Pick 5, and that's races 10 through 14. Again, normally you'd be dealing with a carryover if there were multiple tickets, but in this case, multiple tickets will share in the pool, whatever that ends up being. So that could be a really lucrative wager. Another nice little send-off for the fans here in 2019. We're about 24 minutes away from post time for the first race on the night. 14 races on tap, still some business to conduct. And when we return from this break, we'll take a look at some of the highlights on the card right after this.
In the world of standardbred racing, only one name is synonymous with this kind of success, this kind of history, this kind of greatness, this kind of legacy, and this kind of unparalleled promise for tomorrow. Proud of our past, excited about our future. You know the name, that one name. Hanover, the greatest name in harness racing.
Harness racing comes alive at the Harness Racing Museum and Hall of Fame in Goshen, New York. Visit our world-class museum and see the local connections to Messenger and Hambletonian. Come see our newest exhibit, the Greyhound Gallery. Stroll through our beautiful facility and ride our 3D simulator. Hold your next event or party in Houghton Hall, a popular horse-oriented destination. Check out Harness Racing's Hall of Fame, less than a 1-hour drive from Yonkers or the Meadowlands in Goshen, New York. The Harness Racing Museum and Hall of Fame.
Jim Avila back with you here on First Call, getting you ready for our Saturday night closing night proceedings here at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono as we say farewell to the 2019 racing season. It's been an outstanding year. We're about 21 minutes from race number 1 before each and every one of the 14 races on the program. As always, I'll be along to tell you about each particular field, take a look at how the betting is playing out for each race. Should be interesting to see how the races play out. We've seen so many upsets late in the year. We'll see if that continues here on the closing night. Let's take a look now while we have the opportunity opportunity at what to watch on tonight's program, some of the highlights on the card. And what to watch tonight starts with race number 5, as we have a Billings race to close out the year. The Billings, for those who are unaware, made up of amateur drivers. And we've got the Series 2 final for the CKG Billings Trot, carrying a purse of $15,000. 8 amateur drivers in charge here in this race. The morning line favorite is number 4, Fiji, with David Offenberg in the bike for Eric Abicello. Fiji coming off a win at Yonkers in an amateur driver race in his last start, comfortably winning by 7.5 lengths in 1:58.1. He's not the only one coming off a win. Number 6, Broadway Bruiser, with Matt Zuccarello in the bike. He will be moving up after a victory last time in a Billings race as well. The drivers, by the way, for this race: Annie Stoibe, Anthony Veruso, Sophia Zingali, David Offenberg, Tyler Miller, Matt Zuccarello, Mike Polanski, and Paul Minori, and they will be going for that Billings Series 2 final in race number 5. We move to race 13, and that's condition trot. Non-winners $7,000 last 4. PA preferred purse $11,000, and they're trotting off into the sunset because it is our last trot of the 2019 season. And the morning line favorite in that one is number 1, Round Town Rocker, with George Napolitano Jr. in the bike for trainer Rick Dane Jr. Round Town Rocker returning from the Meadowlands, where he had in the money finishes in 2 of his last 4. Struggled to a 9th place finish in his last start, but that was from a tough outside post at the Big M. Gets an inside look here. Round Town Rocker has been the fastest of these for each of the last 2 years in terms of fastest mile of the season. So with the inside post, with George choosing him over the 6 and the 9, don't be surprised if he's favored in that 13th race. And then we move to race number 14, condition pace. Now winners $6,000, last 4. PA preferred purse $11,000. Scratch the 8, PLA Roy out sick, and borrowing from Bob Seeger a bit, it's the famous final scene for our final race of the 2019 season. And as it's almost fitting that it would be George Napolitano Jr. aboard the favorite in the race. George choosing the 7, Feeling Cam Lucky, over the 1, the 3, and the 4 in this one. Goes for Gilberto Garcia Herrera, and the thing about Feeling Cam Lucky, has the back class in here. He was up at the 12.5 level in his last start and had a solid 3rd place finish. Plus, he was bet in that race at 5-2. So if he gets bet in the higher condition, dropping down tonight, you figure he'll be bet again. He has been consistently in the money this year, 20 times in the money, 33 races, and with the drop, he could be in line for his 4th win of 2019. So that's how the closing one shapes up, 7-4-3-2 in race 14. Let's move to the 10th race feature. Our final feature of the season is a condition pace, as always is the case on Saturday night. Non-winners of $18,000 in the last 4. Purse $17,500. No changes. Good field. Number 4, American Primetime. There's George Knapp again. He is poised for a very big night here in the closing ceremonies. And, of course, he'll be honored tonight for being a driver of the year, both in wins and UDRS. He goes for Rick Dane Jr. for American Primetime in this one. And American Primetime coming off a sharp win at the Meadowlands last start, 1:50.4. Fast time, considering it was only 35 degrees that night at the Meadowlands. American Primetime won the last time he was here at Pocono in a $14,000 condition back in October in 150 flat. So that one should be in the mix. But some successful ones here. 2, Attaboy Dan, our pacer and claimer of the year this year, has won back-to-back condition paces and steps up the ladder. 3, Maroma Beach, coming off a win at Harrah's. 6, In Spades, moves up after a win. 5, Luis Alberto, won the last time he was here in October in this very same class. And 7, always at my place, of course, the veteran with over $1.1 million in earnings. So a lot of class, a lot of good horses in the 10th race feature, 4, 5, 3, and 2. 17 minutes until post time for the first race on the last night here at Pocono. And when we return, we're going to take a look at our opening race of the night, as well as kind of say our goodbyes for 2019 right after this.
At Mohegan Sun Pocono, the colors shine a little brighter. The meals are just a little tastier, and the slots a little hotter. When you're here with great friends, the good times seem to last a little longer. And you just may feel a little luckier. Best of all, it's all a little closer, so you can shine on anytime you like. Shine on, Mohegan Sun Pocono.
History. It's written by winners. At Diamond Creek Farm, we're breeding champions and rewriting the history books. Diamond Creek Farm, a cut above.
TrackMaster mobile apps are your handicapping connection to the races. The Pocket Handicapper and Tablet Handicapper apps put the power of TrackMaster in the palm of your hand. Get speed, pace, class, and power ratings, in-depth pedigree, trainer, and jockey or driver stats, and complete PPs. Want interactive past performances? TrackMaster IPPs by Equibase lets you mark up full programs just like pen and paper. TrackMaster, the leader in mobile apps for thoroughbred and harness racing.
Fifteen minutes until post time, race number 1 here at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono, our closing night of the 2019 season. Want to get in our goodbye video here, so let's take a look at race number 1 here. It's a $15,000 to $20,000 claiming handicap pace, purse $14,000. Exact trifecta, superfecta, first half of the early daily double. No changes in race 1. If you are betting the early double, race 2, scratch the 7 Terror at the Beach out lame. The favorite here is number 2, Torrid Bromac, 5-2 morning line, now 6-5. Interestingly enough, George Napolitano Jr. chose the 1, Burning Midnight, who was 15 to morning line over the 2, Torrid Bromac, and the 4, Endeavor's Pride. Jim Taggart Jr. takes over. Torrid Bromac win-win show. His last 3 starts, was necked out in his last start by Warp Factor 3, but does not have to face that one tonight. It's a good field. 3 times a rock and has been up at the 20 to 25 level for most of the season. 12 wins this year, over 6 figures in earnings, so he drops down, plus an improved post position. Should be an interesting matchup between he and Torrid Bromac. 4, Endeavor's Pride coming off a win at the 20 to 25 level last time, 152 and 3, sharp effort. 6 Daylight Rush, 7 straight in the money coming into this race, including a second last time just behind Warp Factor 3. 7 Ron Bacardi's hit the board his last 2. 8 Sporty Spook, favored at the 20 to 25 level last time, a disappointing 7th place finish. A couple others we mentioned, George Knapp choosing the 1, Burning Midnight, who's coming off back-to-back 5ths, and 5 Royal Heart coming off a close 4th place finish in a conditioned pace. Morning line is 2, 3, 4, 7. Current favorite is the 2, Torrid Bromac at 6-5. 14 minutes until post time. First race of the night here at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono. It is our closing night of the 2019 season. I always say when we have these closing nights that I try not to thank too many people, because what happens is I forget people. Luckily, the folks at International Sound have put together a great video kind of showing everybody who puts on the show, who puts together the racing in terms of race officers and track officials and judges. I mean, just everything. You're going to see that in the video. So, of course, we want to thank all those people. I want to thank International Sound because they put together this show. They make me look good, which is no easy task, and they do an outstanding job. So thank you to all those folks. One person you won't see on the video that I do want to special mention just personally is Jerry Connors, the Dean of Writers here for harness racing in Pennsylvania. Whenever you hear me mention a statistic on the show of any sort or something about one of the drivers or the betting, Jerry Connors is usually the source for that. He comes up with these statistics out of nowhere just because he knows so much about the sport. So I want to thank Jerry for helping me out with that. So like I said, I want to thank everyone. Of course, I want to thank the fans. You are the folks that make this track so special. I'm so honored to call the races. I'm so honored to host this show, and that's in large part because of the fans that we do have here at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono. So I am looking forward to seeing you all again in the 2020 season. As I said, the folks at International Sound and Gen Star have put together a great video to kind of sum up the 2019 racing season. So let's take a look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch now. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder. Cheated on my baby. You
like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar. Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras. Riding down Rodeo in my Maserati sports car. Got no stress, I've been through all that. I'm like a Marlboro man, so I keep going back. Wish I could roll on back to that old town road. I wanna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
The Pacers are on the track for tonight's first race at Pocono. First half of the early daily double. Number 1, Burning Midnight, owned by Joe P. Racing, LLC. Trainer Lou Pena, driver George Napolitano, Jr. 2, Torrid Bromac, owned by Bryce Westwood Stable. Trainer Darren Tannehill, driver Jim Taggart, Jr. 3, Tom's a Rockin', owned by Antonius Storer. Trainer Dan Meyer, driver Anthony Napolitano. 4, Endeavor's Pride, owned by Doug Berkeley, Leslie Berkeley. Trainer Katie Remmerswald, driver Matt Kakali. 5, Royal Heart, owned by Blind Switch Racing Stable, Doyne Farm Services, LLC, trainer Jose Godinez, driver Pat Barry. 6, Daylight Rush, owned by Cassandra Johnson, trainer Dave McKnight III, and the driver Tom Jackson. 7, Ron Bacardi, owned by Gilbert Garcia Owen, trainer Gilberto Garcia Herrera, driver Eric Carlson. And 8, Sporty Spook, owned by Allard Racing Incorporated, trainer and ALR driver Simon Allard. No changes in tonight's first race. Field of 8 going to gate, less than a minute from now. Last call, race number 1. Get those wagers in. Post time approaching for the first. The starter has called the claiming handicap Pacers to the gate for tonight's first race at Pocono, first half of the early daily double. The range of claiming prices is $20,000 to $25,000, and the range of claiming price is $15,000 to $20,000, and the purse $14,000. And around the turn, they go. The Pacers have reached the backstretch, and they are underway in the Saturday night opener, and speed on the inside from Tom Zarakin, first to show. Burning Midnight goes with him at the pylon. Sporty Spook from the outside representing is third, followed by Torrid Bromac. Endeavor's Pride fifth past the 8th mile marker. Then comes Royal Heart sixth. After that, Daylight Rush and the trailer Ron Bacardi, who is 10.5 off the pace. And it's Tom Zarakin taking that lead from Burning Midnight. The field wheels around the turn to the quarter-mile marker in 27-1. First time past the faithful this evening, Tom Zarakin on the drop right now for Anthony Napolitano, leading the way as the 7-5 betting favorite, with Burning Midnight tucked in the pocket behind him. Torrid Bromac, been hot all year long here at Pocono, sits third on the inside, followed by Sporty Spook. Endeavor's Pride won last time out. He's moving up first over for Matt Kakali, and behind that Royal Heart. Also on the outside, Daylight Rush, the trailer Ron Bacardi will try to fill in the gap. The lead belongs to Tom Zarakin at the half-mile marker in 56-1, 29 even, second panel. On to the backstretch. Tom Zarakin on top by just a length. Right in his hip pocket is Burning Midnight. On the outside, Endeavor's Pride to within 2.5 now for Matt Kakali. Torrid Bromac saving ground, but losing a bit of ground from the cover. Second over Royal Heart is fifth, about 5 off the pace. Then Sporty Spook. Outside Daylight Rush, the trailer Ron Bacardi. Up front, Tom Zarakin by a length as Endeavor's Pride draws nearer now. 3/4 reached in 124-1, 28 even, third panel. And up front, the lead down to a half length right now for Tom Zarakin. Endeavor's Pride applying the pressure. In the pocket, Burning Midnight. Torrid Bromac a bit further back in fourth. Top of the stretch, Tom Zarakin looking to seal the deal. Now Anthony Napolitano asking for more. Burning Midnight looking to come on, but he's 2 lengths back. Further back, Endeavor's Pride. Tom Zarakin rock solid up front. It's been an excellent meet, and he closes it out well. Tom Zarakin by a length and a half. Endeavor's Pride up for second, followed by Burning Midnight third, and Torrid Bromac fourth. Tom Zarakin on top, 152-2. Tom Zarakin, you know, it's Attaboy Dan was the claimer of the year, and there was really no denying that. He was so outstanding, but if there was a number 2 in the claiming rankings this year, this horse would have to be it, and he closes it out very well on the front end in this one. Judges have posted the unofficial order of finish for tonight's first race. Number 3, Tom Zarakin finished first. Number 4, Endeavor's Pride finished second. Number 1, Burning Midnight finished third. Number 2, Torrid Bromac finished fourth. Unofficially 3-4-1-2 in race number 1. Moving into the Hanover Shoe Farms Winner's Circle, unofficial winner of tonight's first race, first half early double, number 3, Tom Zarakin. He is a 4-year-old bay gelding by Rockin' Image out of Girl Maddie by Jenna's Beach Boy. Bred by Rebecca Yoder and Kelsey Groff of Indiana, owned by Antonia Storer, Dallas, Pennsylvania. Dan Meyer, the trainer. Anthony Napolitano, the driver for Tom Zarakin, 7-5 betting favorite. On the drop-in class, picks up his 13th win in 27 races this year. Last victory coming on October 12th here at Pocono. 15th lifetime victory, career earnings jumping over $171,000. And time of the mile tonight, 152 2/5 for number 3, Tom Zarakin. Results of tonight's first race official rundown. Number 1, Burning Midnight, finished third. 2, Torrid Bromac was fourth. 3, Tom's a Rockin', the race winner. Number 4, Endeavor's Pride, finished second. 5, Royal Heart was eighth. Number 6, Daylight Rush, finished seventh. 7, Ron Bacardi was fifth. And number 8, Sporty Spook, finished sixth. From the top down reads 3-4-1-2-8-7-5-6. Race winner 3, Tom's a Rockin', winning time of 1:52 2/5. 3 horses were claimed in tonight's first race. Multiple claims entered on 1, Burning Midnight. Burning Midnight claimed by Robert Main. Robert Main claims the 1. Single claim entered on 2, Torrid Bromac. Torrid Bromac claimed by Pete Pellegrino. Pete Pellegrino claims the 2. And multiple claims entered on number 4, Endeavor's Pride. Endeavor's Pride claimed by Kathleen Weller. Kathleen Weller claims the 4 from race 1. Race 2, 8 minutes away, claiming handicap pace range $10,000 to $12,500. PA preferred purse $9,500. Exact trifecta superfecta, second half early double. Race 2, scratch the 7, Terror at the Beach, out lame. 7 minutes till post for the second. That Daylight Rush and the trailer Ron Bacardi, who is 10.5 off the pace. And it's Tom's a Rockin' taking that lead from Burning Midnight. The field wheels around the turn to the quarter-mile marker in 27-1. First time past the faithful this evening. Tom's a Rockin' on the drop right now for Anthony Napolitano, leading the way as the 7-5 betting favorite, with Burning Midnight tucked in the pocket behind him. Torrid Bromac, been hot all year long here at Pocono, sits third on the inside, followed by Sporty Spook. Endeavor's Pride won last time out. He's moving up first over for Matt Kikali, and behind that, Royal Heart. Also on the outside, Daylight Rush, the trailer, Ron Bacardi, will try to fill in the gap. The lead belongs to Tom's a Rockin' at the half-mile marker in 56-1, 29 even, second panel. On to the backstretch. Tom's a Rockin' on top by just a length. Right in his hip pocket is Burning Midnight. On the outside, Endeavor's Pride to within 2.5 now for Matt Kikali. Torrid Bromac saving ground but losing a bit of ground from the cover. Second over Royal Heart is fifth, about 5 off the pace. Then Sporty Spook. Outside Daylight Rush, the trailer Ron Bacardi. Up front, Tom's a Rockin' by a length as Endeavor's Pride draws nearer now. 3/4 reached in 1:24-1, 28 even, third panel. And up front, the lead down to a half length right now for Tom's a Rockin'. Endeavor's Pride applying the pressure. In the pocket, Burning Midnight. Torrid Bromac a bit further back in fourth. Top of the stretch, Tom's a Rockin' looking to seal the deal. Now Anthony Napolitano asking for more. Burning Midnight looking to come on, but he's 2 lengths back. Further back, Endeavor's Pride. Tom's a Rockin', rock solid up front. It's been an excellent meet, and he closes it out well. Tom's a Rockin' by a length and a half. It's Tom's a Rockin' in race number 1, kicking off the early double. And we talked about what an outstanding season it's been for that claimer, and he closes it out in fine fashion, winning by a length and a half in race number 1. Race number 2 is 5 minutes away, and it's claiming handicap pace, range $10,000 to $12,500. PA preferred purse $9,500. Scratch the 7, Terror at the Beach, out lame. Morning line favorite is number 3, Down on Main Street. George Napolitano Jr. in the bike for Jay Cuff. We saw Down on Main Street last week. He was in a condition pace. It was his first start in from the Meadowlands. He was favored even money, and he made a brief break at the start of the race, which kind of put him in a hole. He was 7th of 8 all the way up until the half-mile marker. He was still 4th at the top of the lane, and he nearly got there. Just a nose back from Dureco in that mile in second. So if he can make a clean race out of this one, certainly he can be a factor here. He looks for his 4th win in 2019, and again, he is the morning line favorite. Meanwhile, number 8, Tease Electric, won last week in a 10-claimer. He'll go for 2 in a row, and he beat several of the horses in this class last week. He went gate to wire 154-3 at 4-1. It's been a good year for him. That was his 10th win of the year last year. He has the most earnings of anybody in this field, over $74,000 this year. Pat Barry will do the honors this time for Joe Squire. Matt Kikali had driven this one, but Matt choosing the 5 Lucky Man instead for this one. So Tease Electric will get Pat Barry instead. We said he beat some of the horses in this field. Number 2, Charger Blue Chip, was behind him in 5th last time, and this horse has been out of the money in 5 consecutive races. 4, Chancellor Cullen, 4th last time out, his 2nd straight 4th place finish. And 6, Staffanati finished 6th in that mile, and he's had 2 6ths in a row, so a lot of horses looking to turn the page. Then there's some chippers in here. 1, Corner Con Artist is back from Harrah's, where he's been out of the money his last 15 starts this year without hitting the board for this one. Number 5, Lucky Man. We mentioned Matt Kikali chose this one over the 8, as Lucky Man coming off a win last time in 153 4/5, and that was at Vernon Downs. So now he comes to Pocono looking for his 7th win of 2019. See how he does on the 5/8. And on the outside, number 9, Regal Hope. Boy, he returns to Pocono, having put together an excellent streak at Harrah's, where he won 3 consecutive races in October at the $12,500 level. Finally, last time had that streak snapped with a 5th place finish. He was claimed out of that mile. Gilberto Garcia Herrera, now the trainer, as Regal Hope returns to Pocono with a tough outside post, and Eric Carlson in the bike. 3 scratch 5-8 morning line. 3 down on Main Street is the 2-5 favorite right now with 3 minutes until post. Pacers on the track tonight's second race at Pocono. 1 corner con artist owned by Dan Caticia, trainer Ray Burt, driver Matt Romano. 2 Charger Blue Chip owned and trained by Emily Boss, driver Tom Jackson. 3 down on Main Street owned by Paul Minestrelli, trainer Jake Huff, driver George Napolitano Jr. 4 Chancellor Cullen owned by Stacy Lee Day, trainer Steve Braybrook, driver Jim Taggart Jr. 5 Lucky Man owned by Jennifer Lappy, Patrick Lazo, trainer Jennifer Lappy, driver Matt Kakali. 6 Staffanati, owned by his big new Pietro Marta Pietro, trainer Marta Pietro, driver Anthony Napolitano. Number 7 Terror at the Beach is scratched lame. 8 T's Electric, owned by Moku Incorporated, trainer Joe Skawira, driver Pat Berry. And the 9 Regal Hope, owned by Gilbert Garcia Owen, trainer Gilberto Garcia Herrera, driver Eric Carlson. Scratch the 7 Terror at the Beach out lame. Field of 8 for race 2, less than a minute until post. Last call, race 2, get him in. The starter is called. The claiming handicap Pacers to the gate for tonight's second race at Pocono. The range of claiming prices $10,000 to $12,500. PA preferred, first $9,500. And around the turn, they go. The Pacers have reached the back stretch, and they are underway. Several levers in this one. On the inside corner, Con Artist comes out well. Center of the track, Lucky Man is firing. Corner Con Artist slight lead here. In behind that, Charger Blue Chip third. Up on the outside, Tease Electric following the cover. Then comes down on Main Street fifth, followed by Chancellor Cullen Daffinati in the trailer, Regal Hope. For the moment, it's Lucky Man, but now Tease Electric trying to get to him as they keep changing leads up on the front end here. Field of 8 around the turn of the quarter-mile marker in 27 3/5. They sashay past the crowd on this closing night, and Tease Electric coming off the win, able to strike the front, but right back out is Lucky Man, who's coming off a win at Vernon Downs in his last start and takes over now for Matt Kakali. Tease Electric back to second, then third is Corner Con Artist down on Main Street, the 1-5 favorite. Begins to wing it on the outside first over. Chancellor Cullen picks up that cover. Inside Charger Blue Chip sixth. Third over seventh is Daffinati in the trailer, Regal Hope. Lucky Man leads by a length and a half. The half mile 56 4, 29 1 second panel. Lucky Man playing keep away right now, up by a length with Matt Kakali just asking for a little bit. On the outside, down on Main Street, gets a bit closer now. In the pocket, Tease Electric, and then second over Chancellor Cullen is fourth. He's only two back. Inside fifth, Corner Con Artist. Third over sixth, Daffinati. And then you have Charger Blue Chip and Regal Hope. 4 in, 4 out. And still Lucky Man holding a slight lead over down on Main Street. Three quarters, 126 1, 29 2. Third panel on the outside, down on Main Street now even with Lucky Man. Chancellor Cullen in striking position, second over. And Tease Electric getting backed up just a bit in the pocket, but still only two back. Top of the stretch, down on Main Street, now takes the lead. In behind him, Chancellor Cullen tries to fall up the cover. He's two away. It's down on Main Street. Chancellor Cullen all out, down on Main Street by a length, down on Main Street. Tough first over grind for the victory. Chancellor Cullen second, Tease Electric third, Corner Con Artist was fourth. It's George Napolitano Jr. and down on Main Street, 155 1. And down on Main Street, grinding away first over, eventually took care of Lucky Man and then was able to hold off Chancellor Cullen, who was coming up behind him as a long shot, as down on Main Street completes a chalk daily double. Judges have posted the unofficial order of finish race number 2. Number 3, down on Main Street, finished first. Number 4, Chancellor Cullen finished second. Number 8, Tease Electric finished third. Number 1, Corner Con Artist finished fourth. Unofficially 3-4-8-1 in race 2. Moving into the Hanover Shoe Farms Winner's Circle, unofficial winner of tonight's second race, number 3, Down on Main Street, 5-year-old bay gelding by He's Gorgeous out of Main Street Madam by Precious Bunny. Bred by Alvin Schwartz of Indiana, owned by Paul Minestrelli of Brighton, Michigan. The trainer Jake Huff and the driver George Napolitano Jr., the meet's leading driver, Down on Main Street. 1-5 favorite, had a second place finish last week in a condition pace despite breaking early on. No breaks tonight. He picks up his fourth win in 15 this year, his 17th lifetime. Career earnings taking a jump over $114,000. And the winning time tonight of 155 1/5 for number 3, Down on Main Street. Results of race number 2 are official. The rundown: number 1, Corner Con Artist finished 4th. 2, Charger Blue Chip was 5th. Number 3, Down on Main Street, the race winner. 4, Chancellor Cullen was 2nd. Number 5, Lucky Man finished 7th. 6, Daffinati was 8th. 7, Terror at the Beach was scratched. Number 8, Tease Electric finished 3rd. Number 9, Regal Hope was 6th. From the top down, 4, 5, 1, 2, 7, 8, scratch 3, 6. Race winner number 3, Down on Main Street, and a winning time of 1:55 and 1/5. Race number 3 is 8 minutes away, and it's claiming handicap trot, range $15,000 to $20,000. Purse is $14,000. After the race, we'll be honoring our trotter of the year, Rich and Miserable. Race 3 has exacta, trifecta, superfecta wagering beginning of the pick 3. And in race 3, scratch the 6, Can't You Spell out, judges. 8 minutes till post. Center of the track, Lucky Man is firing. Corner Con Artist slight lead here. In behind that, Charger Blue Chip 3rd. Up on the outside, Tease Electric following the cover. Then comes Down on Main Street 5th, followed by Chancellor Cullen, Daffinati, and the trailer Regal Hope. For the moment, it's Lucky Man, but now Tease Electric trying to get to him as they keep changing leads up on the front end here. Field of 8 around the turn of the quarter-mile marker in 27 3/5. They sashay past the crowd on this closing night, and Tease Electric coming off the win, able to strike the front, but right back out is Lucky Man, who's coming off a win at Vernon Downs in his last start and takes over now for Matt Kakaley. Tease Electric back to 2nd, then 3rd is Corner Con Artist. Down on Main Street, the 1-5 favorite, begins to wing it on the outside first over. Chancellor Cullen picks up that cover. Inside, Charger Blue Chip 6th. 3rd over 7th is Daffinati in the trailer Regal Hope. Lucky Man leads by a length and a half. The half mile 56 and 4, 29 and 1 second panel. Lucky Man playing keep away right now, up by a length with Matt Kakaley just asking for a little bit. On the outside, Down on Main Street, gets a bit closer now. In the pocket, Tease Electric, and then 2nd over Chancellor Cullen is 4th. He's only 2 back. Inside 5th, Corner Con Artist. 3rd over 6th, Daffinati. And then you have Charger Blue Chip and Regal Hope. 4 in, 4 out. And still Lucky Man holding a slight lead over Down on Main Street. 3/4, 126 and 1, 29 and 2. 3rd panel on the outside, Down on Main Street now even with Lucky Man. Chancellor Cullen in striking position, 2nd over. And Tease Electric getting backed up just a bit in the pocket, but still only 2 back. Top of the stretch, Down on Main Street now takes the lead. In behind him, Chancellor Cullen tries to fall up the cover. He's 2 away. It's Down on Main Street. Chancellor Cullen all out. Down on Main Street by a length. Down on Main Street. Tough first over grind for the victory. Chancellor Cullen 2nd. Well, we had the Chalk Daily Double there, favorite, paying off $9.20. However, the exacta got a boost from Chancellor Cullen, who was 46 to 1, finishing 2nd. And Down on Main Street, the favorite delivers by a length and a quarter. We head to race 3, and again at the conclusion of race 3, we'll be honoring our trotter of the year, Rich and Miserable. In the meantime, we've got a $15,000 to $20,000 claiming handicap trot, purse $14,000. Scratch the 6, Can't You Spell out, judges, and the heavy favorite is number 7, Big Boy Roscoe. We saw Big Boy Roscoe a couple starts ago in a condition trot for an $11,000 purse, and he worked out a trip and came on for a sharp victory, 154 and 2. Closed out the mile 28 and 1. Strong late kick from a good trip and beat a pretty good condition group, and it's been a solid year for this gelding, who joined the Rene Allard barn in September. 10 wins in 31 races this year, over $116,000 in earnings. He went to Yonkers for a start on the 5th of November, struggled to a 7th place finish as he sat well back in the mile for much of that one before finally coming on to at least get a little bit nearer. But here at Pocono, he had the nice win the last time he was here and should be set up well for this one. The bettors certainly think so, as he is right now the only one in single digits. The 1, the 2, the 3 all raced in this class last week and came up short to win back Noel. Shivered, number 1, broke stride, so that put him right out of it. Now he's been 5th and 6th in his last 2 in this class for Robert Bath. 2 Splitsville had a streak of 3 straight first or second, snapped with that 5th place finish last time out. Was in striking position but didn't close well at all, so he'll try to shake that off. George Knapp goes for Hunter Oaks. And 3 Chuckabuck, he set the pace in that mile, won by Winback Noel last time. Led into the lane at 7-1 before tiring to a 4th place finish. Chuckabuck had a win in this class 3 previous in 156 and 1. Looks for his 7th win of the year. Meanwhile, number 4, Chaz Hanover. 2 starts ago, he was a winner at the $11,000 condition level here at Pocono in 157 and 4. Kind of a modest time for that group that he managed, and it wasn't really one of the cold days at that point. It was still 60 degrees. Then Chaz Hanover raced at the 12.5 level last time and finished 5th. He's looking for his 5th win of the year. Eric Carlson for Gilberto Garcia Herrera. Number 5, Keystone Charger is back after being scratched Judges Transportation last week. 2 starts ago, had a 4th place finish in this class from an 8 post, and now gets a much better look at the 5-post. Anthony Napolitano, the driver for trainer Cad Gregory. 7-2-4-3 morning line. 7 is 1-9. Big Boy Roscoe with 3 minutes till post. Trotters on the track, race 3, 1 Shivered, owned and trained by Robert Bath, driver Matt Kakali. 2 Splitsville, owned by North Fork Racing Stable, trainer Hunter Oakes, driver George Napolitano Jr. 3 Chuck-a-Buck, owned by James McDonald, trainer Brad Irvine, driver Pat Barry. 4 Chaz Hanover, owned and trained by Gilberto Garcia Herrera, driver Eric Carlson. The 5 Keystone Charger, owned by Michael Federici, trainer Cad Gregory, driver Anthony Napolitano. 6 Can't You Spell is scratched judges, and 7 Big Boy Roscoe, owned by Allard Racing Incorporated VIP Internet Stable LLC, trainer Renee Allard, driver Simon Allard. Scratch the 6 Can't You Spell out judges, field of 6, when we are less than a minute away from post for race 3. Last call, race 3, get him in. The starter is called, claiming handicapped trotters to the gate for tonight's third race at Pocono. The range of prices $15,000 to $20,000 and the purse $14,000. And around the turn they go. The trotters have reached the backstretch, and they are underway. Shivered made a break at the pylons right off the start, but on the inside, Splitsville is away flat and fast and has the lead by a half length. But now Big Boy Roscoe surging to take that lead from Splitsville. Third on the inside, Chuckabuck past the 8th mile marker. Then it's Chaz Hanover fourth, followed by Keystone Charger, and Shivered galloping at the back of the pack, and he is way back and out of it early. Big Boy Roscoe, meanwhile, leads this field by 2 as they round the turn, come to the quarter-mile marker, 28 2/5. And Big Boy Roscoe returning to Pocono is a heavy favorite here, 2 to 5 choice, and Simon Allard will look to rate now. In behind him in the pocket is Splitsville, followed by Chuckabuck third. Another 2 back to fourth, and Chaz Hanover, nobody to the outside, nobody who's flat to the outside yet anyway. Fifth there is Keystone Charger, and again Shiver just galloping away at the back of the pack. So no change up front. Big Boy Roscoe coasting his way to the half-mile marker, which he reaches in 58 3. 30 1 second panel, so the rate job was A1 for Simon Allard here. Big Boy Roscoe now will have to speed it up because from third looking to pounce on the outside, that's Chuckabuck, just ahead back for Pat Barry. Meanwhile, Splitsville works out that pocket trip just a length away. Chaz Hanover now launching to the outside. He's 2 back off both the cover and the lead. Then Keystone Charger, and again way back to Shivered, who is out of it. The lead about ahead now for Big Boy Roscoe, fending off Chuckabuck. 3/4 reached 127 1, 28 3 on the backstretch. Big Boy Roscoe with the shutdown on Chuckabuck, but meanwhile Splitsville back into second is still a threat a length back. 3 wide move from Chaz Hanover at the back, and now Keystone Charger has the inside open up for him. Top of the stretch, Big Boy Roscoe to go toe-to-toe now with Splitsville. It's Big Boy Roscoe. Splitsville has the momentum for George Napolitano Jr. And Splitsville with a nice bounce-back effort here tonight pounces on the favored late and gets the win by a length. Big Boy Roscoe second, further back Keystone Charger third, and Chaz Hanover fourth. It's Splitsville at 156 flat. Well, Big Boy Roscoe was the heavy favorite, had a soft half-mile time, but then was pressured a bit on the backstretch by Chuckabuck. Maybe that softened him up a bit, or maybe Splitsville was just a little bit better tonight from the pocket as he blitzes the favorite for the win. Judges have posted the unofficial order of finish race 3. Number 2, Splitsville finished first. Number 7, Big Boy Roscoe finished second. Number 5, Keystone Charger finished third. Number 4, Chaz Hanover finished fourth. Unofficially 2-7-5-4 in race number 3. Moving into the Hanover Shoe Farms winner's circle by way of the home stretch. Unofficial winner of tonight's third race, number 2, Splitsville. 10-year-old bay gelding by Hard Rock and Roll out of Meet My Ex by Keystone Nordic, bred by Karen Greengard of Michigan, owned by North Fork Racing Stable, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Hunter Oaks, the trainer. George Napolitano Jr., second straight win in the program. And Splitsville, 3-1 second choice, gets the victory here as he had to come off a 5th place finish, his first win since he picked up a win in this class October 19th. It's his 5th win in 27 this year, his 50th lifetime career earnings topping $324,000, and he trots the mile tonight in 156 flat. Number 2, Splitsville. Ladies and gentlemen, if you pay attention to the Hanover Shoe Farms Winner's Circle, we have a presentation for our 2019 Trotter of the Year, and that's Rich and Miserable. Rich and Miserable was outstanding here at Pocono as he rose through the condition ranks throughout the season, put on an excellent winning streak, and then eventually comes up a winner in the Northeast Open Series, which was the biggest win of his season. So it was really a meteoric rise for this trotter. And now in the Hanover Shoe Farms Winner's Circle, several of the principals for this horse accepting the award for the 2019 Trotter of the Year to Rich and Miserable. The results of tonight's third race are official. The rundown reads as follows. Number 1, Shivered, finished 6th. 2, Splitsville, the race winner. 3, Chuckabuck, finished 5th. 4, Chaz Hanover was 4th. Number 5, Keystone Charger, finished 3rd. 6, Can't You Spell, was scratched. And 7, Big Boy Roscoe, was 2nd. From the top down reads 6, 1, 5, 4, 3, scratch 2. Race winner 2, Splitsville, 156 flat. Race 3, single claim entered on 3, Chuckabuck. Chuckabuck claimed by Carl Monty. Carl Monty claims the 3 from race 3. Race 4, 6 minutes away, condition pace. Now winners $3,200 last 4. PA preferred purse $8,500. Exact trifecta superfecta wagering. No changes in race 4 and 6 minutes till post. Underway. Shivered made a break at the pylons right off the start, but on the inside, Splitsville is away flat and fast and has the lead by a half length. And now Big Boy Roscoe surging to take that lead from Splitsville. Third on the inside, Chuckabuck past the 8th mile marker. Then it's Chaz Hanover 4th, followed by Keystone Charger, and Shivered galloping at the back of the pack, and he is way back and out of it early. Big Boy Roscoe, meanwhile, leads this field by 2 as they round the turn, come to the quarter-mile marker, 28 2/5. And Big Boy Roscoe returning to Pocono is a heavy favorite here, 2 to 5 choice, and Simon Allard will look to rate now. In behind him in the pocket is Splitsville, followed by Chuckabuck 3rd. Another 2 back to 4th, and Chaz Hanover, nobody to the outside, nobody who's flat to the outside yet anyway. 5th there is Keystone Charger, and again Shiver just galloping away at the back of the pack. So no change up front. Big Boy Roscoe coasting his way to the half-mile marker, which he reaches in 58 3. 30-1 second panel, so the rate job was A1 for Simon Allard here. Big Boy Roscoe now will have to speed it up because from 3rd looking to pounce on the outside, that's Chuckabuck, just ahead back for Pat Barry. Meanwhile, Splitsville works out that pocket trip just a length away. Chaz Hanover now launching to the outside. He's 2 back off both the cover and the lead. Then Keystone Charger, and again way back to Shivered, who is out of it. The lead about ahead now for Big Boy Roscoe, fending off Chuckabuck. 3/4 reached 127-1, 28-3 on the back stretch. Big Boy Roscoe with the shutdown on Chuckabuck, but meanwhile Splitsville back into second is still a threat a length back. 3 wide move from Chaz Hanover at the back, and now Keystone Charger has the inside open up for him. Top of the stretch, Big Boy Roscoe to go toe-to-toe now with Splitsville. It's Big Boy Roscoe. Splitsville has the momentum for George Napolitano Jr., and Splitsville with a nice bounce-back effort here tonight pounces on the favored late and gets the win by a length. Splitsville winning is the second choice, first non-favorite to prevail here this evening. Coming up on the favorite Big Boy Roscoe, Keystone Charger 20-1 was 3rd, as Splitsville wins this by a length and a quarter. On to race number 4, now 4 minutes away. Condition pace, now winners $3,200 last 4. PA preferred purse $8,500, no changes to report. And number 4, Anwar Hanover, 15-1 morning line, bet down to 8-5 right now. Favorite Frank Kamen, the trainer. Simon Allard, the driver, and Anwar Hanover all of a sudden having all kinds of issues staying flat. He broke back-to-back starts here in October. He had to qualify, which he did in 155 flat, and then at Yonkers, he was moving up into the lead, and he broke stride again in that one, finishing 5th and placing 8th. So it's hard to put too much faith in him, and the concern is that even when he was flat the last time on October 5th, he only finished 5th in this very same class. So a bit surprised to see him taking so much early betting attention, but so he is at 8-5. There are a bunch of horses in this race that are dropping down in class, and they could certainly play a factor in this one. 2 sentencing memos, 6 Bruce's Magic, 7 Sevens Hope, 8 America's Fleet, 9 Latchy McGuire, all made their last start at the $11,000 level. Sentencing memo, Bruce's Magic, and Sevens Hope all in a race won by Crusades. In that race, Sevens Hope finished 4th, Sentencing memo finished 5th, and Bruce's Magic finished 6th. So they were all kind of well back. Sevens Hope does get George Knapp for Gilberto Garcia Herrera, and Sevens Hope was bet in that race at 5-2. So that's why I had him as the morning line favorite. I thought he'd be bet again, and I think he will. Meanwhile, America's Fleet and Latchy McGuire on the outside were both in a race won by Wagon Master. America's Fleet made a break, so never had a chance in that one. Latchy McGuire, meanwhile, finished 5th and now has the tough outside post, but that one has been the big earner over the past 2 years compared to the rest in this field. Meanwhile, new face is number 3, How Are Ye John, with Sean Simons, the trainer and driver. How Are Ye John has been out of the money his last 3, splitting time between the Meadowlands and Yonkers. Last win came his last race on a 5/8 at Tioga back in September and won 52-4, and he has 3 wins in 40 this year with 15 in the money finishes. How Are Ye John right now is the 5-2 second choice. A couple others in here. 1 Electro Fire struggled to 8th last time in this class, but vastly improved post position for trainer, driver, owner Jennifer Lappy. And number 5 Grave Dancer came back from Vernon to finish 4th last time in this class, and he also improves his post tonight. 7-2-3-6 morning line, current favorite the 4 Anwar Hanover at 9-5 with a minute until post. Pacers on the track, race 4, number 1 Electro Fire, owned, trained, and driven by Jennifer Lappy. 2 Sentencing Memo, owned by Artie Foster, trainer Eric Foster, driver Eric Carlson. 3 How Are Ye John, owned by Destiny Racing Stable LLC, trainer and driver Sean Simons. 4 Anwar Hanover, owned, trained by Frank Kamen, the driver is Simon Allard. 5 Grave Dancer, owned by Ed Hall, James Hall Jr., trainer Dan Gill, driver Jim Taggart Jr. 6 Bruce's Magic, owned by Bill Reitmeyer LLC, trainer Bruce Lauer, driver Pat Barry. 7 Sevens Hope, owned by Gilberto Garcia Herrera. He's also the trainer, the driver George Napolitano Jr. 8 America's Fleet, owned by Burke Racing Stable LLC, Weaver Buscemi LLC, trainer Ron Burke, driver Matt Kakali. And number 9 Latchy McGuire, owned by Barry Charles, trainer Jose Godinez, driver Anthony Napolitano. No changes in the 4th, less than a minute until post time.
Ready for the latest advances in handicapping technology? TrackMaster is your solution. With 20-plus years of providing a wealth of information, TrackMaster has tools for every level of player. Pocket Handicapper and IPPs by Equibase, revolutionary products for your smartphone and iPad. Drilled down to charts and race videos. And with software like Plus Pro, even the most advanced players have sophisticated tools to succeed. The complete source for thoroughbred, quarter horse, and harness racing information. TrackMaster by Equibase, for the serious player.
Last call, race 4, get him in. The starter has called the conditioned Pacers to the gate for tonight's fourth race at Pocono. Non-winners $3,200, last four. PA preferred purse $8,500. And around the turn they go.